Hello all and welcome back to Monster Souls. Today I'm going to do a little bit of a sort of straightforward video, one shot, small puzzle. I picked this one up from an op shop a little while ago. It's a 150 piece puzzle. I just want to have a go at it and get it done in a short video. So this is just going to be a short video where you just see the whole build in one clip, a bit of music in the background and so on. So hope you enjoy. Okay, let's get started on this. Let's see how we go. It's only 150 pieces, so I really don't think it's going to take much. What is this? Containing liquid glue and spatula. Drop and spread evenly on the puzzle surface with the spatula. The picture will finish in fine. Wow. I had no idea. Well, we might have a look at that afterwards. Obviously, if you can't tell, this is all in Japanese, so I have no idea what all of this says. I don't speak hardly any Japanese. I know a couple of words based on watching anime, but yeah, this looks like, I don't know. It's interesting. This almost looks like a mail-in thing, like a competition thing, like you'd complete the puzzle and then mail in your picture or something. Interesting. Yep, can't really tell much, but anyway, glue's cool. I'm gonna say, yeah, I'm a little bit surprised by that, to be honest. I wonder if that's a common thing in Japan, that you get a glue with the puzzle. Well, anyway, we're gonna do the puzzle, and yeah. Depending on how well it holds together, I might keep it together just long enough to glue it, and if not very well, I might just pack it up, and I can always do it on another day if I want to glue it up. But yeah, alright, so I'm going to treat this almost like a bit of a speed puzzle. It's only 150 pieces, so it's really not going to take long. The main thing I want to do is get all of the edge pieces sorted straight away, and then I will probably readjust the camera if it's not enough captured in it. I would sort these pieces out, but again, with 150 pieces, I don't think it's really worth it. I think I'm probably going to just let them sit around and then I'll kind of just go from there. I have done it before, like with my 100-piece puzzle solves and stuff. I did sort things out, but my problem here is probably more the fact that there's a lot of pieces that I'm not going to particularly recognize a lot with. I mean, there's some that have got like green on them and that, but there aren't that many pieces of sushi with green. And then there's like the salmon or whatever. But again, these are ones that are probably going to be pretty easy to pick up once I'm sort of into doing it. The words are obviously not going to be any use for me. I mean, obviously, if I was really, like if it only had words on it, I'd probably check the box and try and find where the word is on the box. But well, there you go. Picked up a piece like that already. So that says what? Wrote botany, botern, something like that. I'm imagining it would be down the bottom somewhere, but I can't see it looking quickly. I'm just trying to see. Is that bottom shrimp? It says. Oh, there we go. Botanebi. Botanebi. Botanebi, I think it would be. But yeah, okay, well there you go, that was one. It's funny because the shrimp's head sits up higher, so you don't actually, no wonder there's space for the words to show through and nothing else. And that one's a white one by the looks. There's only a couple of those that look like that. So again, yeah, I don't think I'm going to bother sorting the middle pieces too much. I think I'm just going to pick them up. If I know where they go, I'll put them down, and if I don't, I'll skip them and come back to them when I can better figure it out. Yeah. If you hear banging and crashing in the background or scraping type noises, it's because we've now got 3 cats that, at least 2 of them, the 2 kittens, like to get into mischief and go crashing around whenever I'm doing anything. The big cat that you've seen possibly in previous videos, he's always about. So he might come and lie down right on top of the puzzle, as he wants to do a lot of the time. The other day I was trying to film my daily puzzling videos, the wooden puzzle, Caesar's calendar. If you haven't checked it out, it's all in the shorts. And yeah, he kept head booping my camera stand with my phone because I film with my phone, and then lying down on top of the puzzle basically. So you can probably see him in a few of the short clips, being a pain in the butt. But anyway, it is what it is. Such is life, as they say. But yeah, I'm a bit surprised at how many of these pieces are not how many of these pieces. I'm a bit surprised at how dark this is. I wasn't expecting that. I know it's a black picture, but for some reason I just didn't come to mind how dark it would be. So yeah, for 150 pieces, that doesn't seem to be that many edge pieces, but of course it's going to be plenty. Putting these together, on the other hand, is going to be an interesting one. So those are two different ones for sure. Okay, so I'm going to start with all these because they're at the top. I think that's going to be the far left, to be honest. Yeah, all these sort of fish tops. And I do wonder, because I said sushi, and it does say sushi jigsaw puzzle, but from what I understand, if you've got bits of fish lying on top of, what do you call it? Just rice piles. I think it might be called sashimi. I'm not sure. Anyway, something again for me to look up at some point. But yeah. Alright, we've got the beginnings of the top row going. That's good. A couple of those in place. That's cool. That one, I feel like no, hang on. Do these actually go together? No, they do not. There we go. That one goes there. Then we have, I think that's right. That seems very dark, but that goes off the back of that. That's that one. Does that go with that? No, that's more of a slight yellow-ish colour. That's probably there, yes. And let's see, what else have we got? There's another piece. That probably goes with that one. Yep. And then what am I looking for? I think this is actually probably the prawn there, so that's going to go down the side. There's another bit there. I think that goes with that. Yep. And then that'll be where that connects, I think. And then that goes on there. Wonderful. All right, that's the green. So that's the far right one, and that goes with that. All right, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And there's 2. So that'll be those 2. So that's going to connect with that. And that connects with this. And there should be a corner piece for over here with the greens. There's one corner, not with the green, with a bit of yellow. That's the bottom left corner. Where else have we got a corner piece? There it is. Okay, so we've got all 4 corner pieces then ready to go, so that's good. All right, so we want to go down the side. Now that's probably from there on that side. I'm going to adjust the camera in a second. I'm just going to try and finish all these up first. So we will see how that goes, to be honest. But I have a feeling that that might be... Is that part of the open prawn? I think it is. I think that's that one. And I think this is actually not. Somehow, is that? I'm just looking at the little gold flake here, and I reckon that's actually, yeah, I think that's actually up here. So that's in there, I reckon. Excuse me. I'm going to build the bottom next because that'll get rid of a bunch of pieces and make it easier to see where the sides are. Excuse me. Although that's kind of connecting that now, but anyway. Alright, let's see. So we have Negatorum, which is the Negatora Maki. So that's the Second one, wasabi, is the first bit here. Alright, and then we have gari, that's the far right. I wonder if that matches that. Yes, it does. Kapamaki, which is the second from the end. Tekimaki, which goes after that one. Campio, Kampiomaki. In Inari Sushi, so that's that one there. And that says Maki on the end, so that's going to match with probably that. Yep. And then we have the end of that one. That does not match with that. Why does that not match with that? Hang on. No, I think that's wrong. Okay, I think that's not that marquee. That's probably this marquee. Matches with that. Okay, good. And we have a little bit of tiny writing on this bit. Is that the Nagashi? Yep. And does that match the wasabi? Yes, it does. And we have, there's a small bit of writing there. I reckon that's probably that. I have a feeling that I've missed an edge piece or two. That's going to be annoying. Anyway, that's okay. Alright, so that looks like that's off of that. That's definitely the red fish there, or the ebi, I should say. Does that go with that? Surely not, no. I think there's that piece I'm missing. This is probably going to be something like a double-sided black with big yellow in between. There we go. And then that one is a double inwards one. That looks like that's that. Okay, there we go. All right, cool. We're getting there. So that means, I guess I'm missing one piece that goes in between here. It kind of looks like it might be that one. Yep. Okay, cool. All right, well that's good. So then we just need to figure out where all these pieces go that are edge pieces of some sort. Right, that looks like they go together, and I reckon that's the one that goes up over here. There we go. And that will be the bottom of this. So that's that bit. Does that connect to that? Yes, it does. And that looks like that's probably the marquee piece. And that's going to be that other part, the marquee, not the marquee piece, the wasabi piece, I should say. All right, and then we have three pieces over here apparently. So I'm going to guess that one. Yep. Does that one match to that? Yes, it does. Does that match to that? Yes, it does. And I'm still missing a piece. So I did miss one edge piece. All right, let me readjust the camera and we shall continue. Okay, with that adjusted, let's continue. I'm seeing two pieces straight up that I think are going to go together in some form. It looks like that, and that goes above this one here roughly. And then we've got the one that goes next to it is that one. Guessing that plugs in there, so that's going to be about roughly there. There's a couple of bits here that are quite yellow looking, so I'm guessing that's the tamago, the egg, and this is the under the ikura yellow. That's underneath here. This is the sushi pocket. Goes in there, so that's going to be down there somehow. The egg one goes to the company, so that's that. This is part of the egg one, or the next one over. I don't know. Actually, that looks like, that very much looks like the egg one. Maybe this is not the egg one. Oh no, that's upside down. That'll be this one. There we go. Alright, so the egg one goes over there roughly. I'm going to have a look more for some yellows just because. And I've got a bit of green here that I can put together pretty quick and easy too, I think. So this goes off here. We have that. So this is our young green onion shoots. Sorry. Trying to read the box from a far distance, not the easiest. And I think that goes on the front of that. Nope, maybe not. It's the next one over. Okay. That's right. This one goes on the front of that. There we go. What else have we got? More yellows. Just having a quick look for yellows. There's another bit of yellow under here. So this would be that one because it's got the sushi, not the sushi, the seaweed wrap on it. This is the gari, the pickled ginger. It looks really nice. I've not eaten a lot of this sort of stuff, to be honest. It's not that I avoid it. I do like sushi in different ways, but some of this stuff I've just never tried. So yeah. That looks like it might be off the edge of this. Yeah. Alright, and there's a bit of the shrimp, the botan shrimp. Goes just above sort of here-ish. This one looks like it's part of, it's probably that way around, tuna. There we go, tuna, that's the top here, so that's that bit up there. That looks a bit thin, but it wouldn't be a whole nother piece there, so that's going to be that. Oh, and we've got a bit of, what is this, cockle, is it? Cockle, I have no idea what that is. I thought it was going to be like octopus or something by the look of it, but yeah. There's our white one. So that is the diamondback squid. Oh, there we go. So there we do have some squid. Squid, octopus, similar things, you get what I mean. That tail looks fairly significant. Where does that go? And of course I can't see it now. Is it that way? Is it a front, maybe? Yes, it's the front of the, what is that? Vinaigrette mackerel. Alright, so that goes in under here-ish, roughly. There-ish, somewhere there. Alright, let's see what else have we got that's obvious. We've got more shrimp bits. Okay, so this is boiled shrimp this time. And I think that's the, maybe that's part of that. One of those, no. This one's salmon, so that goes above the shrimp head. That goes up there, underneath, sort of there-ish, I think. That looks like, which one does that look? Hamachi. Yeah, it's got hamachi. So this is the, what is that? Roasted fatty salmon. Okay, there you go. Another version of salmon. That goes in there roughly. I think that goes back here a bit. Alright, let's keep going. The yellow, the whites, the young yellowtail, this one is. Where does that match to? I'm not seeing it. It's a very pale one. Must be the one up the top somewhere. I think. Yes, the hamachi is the young yellowtail, so that goes off of this one, which is actually that going there. Good. All right, we're getting more connections. Feel like that's the abalone, awabi. Comes over here, roughly. All right, let's see what else we've got. A bit more reds and yellows would be good. So this yellow is going to go with something here, I reckon, maybe. Oh, it's got the red, it's that yellow. That's the sort of the tail off of this one over here. So that's going to go probably, hang on, does that make sense? No, this is probably the tail off over here, which is that one. So yeah, there roughly. What else have we got? There's a bit of green here. That's probably the wasabi shoot, so that's going to go up here a bit. Maybe, yep, underneath that one. And we have, is that the yellow? The ebby, yep. There's the ebby sign, goes above that yellow there. More greens here. Here we go, wasabi pieces. That's there, and there, and there. Beautiful. We then have tut is above this one. Hotat, is that the, that looks like it might be a shrimp piece, yeah. Okay, and that brings that down to here, I think. All right, cool. Definitely starting to round up on some stuff. Hirami. Got the Hirami piece. Here's that. Just quick scan, I'm not seeing it. Slow down a bit, I might find it. Harame. So that's this piece here, roughly. Oh, that connects with that. There we go. Alrighty. This one's an interesting piece. This is the, what's that? I've got to look close. Mid-sized kind of Shiryu gizzards shad. Okay. In English, that's a lot of words. In Japanese, kohada, which is that one. It sits just there. It's a lovely looking one though, if I do say so myself. All right, let's get some of these little bits in because these are, oh, there we go. Found the edge piece. Good stuff. All right, I want to get these little maki pieces in. So this is the Nyango. This is the one that goes over here. Let's see if we can find any more of these. There's another one. Hard to say where that one goes. I don't know if that's there or there. Does that match there? Kind of looks like it matches that one. I found that piece, so I'll put that in line with it. I want the makis. There's one, and there's another one, I think. Okay, so this is the Kazunoki, underneath the Kazunoki, the yellow. So that goes there and there. That's good. That's a piece that connects nicely. That one I can't see, except I've got the key, I think is the letter. Yeah, so that would go with Maki, which means it can be any of them. I'm going to try that one. I think, yeah, that looks like it fits there. This one is probably got a bit of green in it. I reckon it's going to be this end piece, so that's there. Yep. All right. Wish I had spread these out a bit more, but anyway, this looks like a really curious piece. I'm wondering what that goes with this. So what's that? Mackerel, horse mackerel. Interesting. Not something I would have ever predicted as a combination, horse and mackerel. But anyway, mackerel. Sorry. That goes over here. Starting to get a few complete ones, so that's kind of cool. Couple of pieces still fairly obvious as to where they would go as well, so that's nice. That seems to be the very white one in the middle, so there we go. Looking forward to connecting some more of these pieces. This seems like it would be probably the back end of that. Yep, the tuna. This looks like the open shrimp again, so that'll be there. Is it open shrimp? Sweet shrimp is what they've labelled it as. So yeah, effectively, yes, open shrimp. This looks like a shrimp with a thing, so it's on the back end of that. There we go. Okay. This looks like the middle of that shrimp, so that's good. That's a very big piece by comparison to the others, I think. Then we've got this one that is the, what is that? Sardine. Oh, far out. It's very hard to read on this box if you haven't noticed yet. Right, that's got a gap in between it, so that's probably that one. Got a few pieces over here I want to try and get done because they're sort of spread out and stuff. There's the other part of the wasabi. There's another connection in there. And then we have, oh, there is a piece of octopus. Or squid, is it? Yeah, squid still, but it's this squeaky squid that goes in the middle. It comes off the end of here by the looks. Oh no, because that would be the end of that. So yeah, it's just between those two anyway. Let's see, what else have we got? More maki here. This looks like the tops of the maki though, so that's going to go probably there. And we have, oh, it's a very orangey one, but I'm not sure if I can tell if that, I think that goes off the back of this. Yep. And then we have more of the egg, sorry, the sushi pocket and the pickled ginger is what that's from. Is that? These look like they're maki pieces. There we go. Nice big, that's probably the underside of that. Yep. medium fatty tuna that was. And this one's that one in the middle again. There we go. So I'm starting to recognise a few of them. Uni. Uni is above the ginger. And this is probably the salmon somewhere. Or the, yeah, okay, the fatty tuna again, not salmon. I kind of recognise salmon and tuna, and I kind of don't, in the sense of, like, I know that they're different, but sort of remembering that and seeing which one's which sort of is a hit and miss a lot of the time. So yeah, this one looks like it's hirami. There we go. Yep, and that's the hotata, I think is how you pronounce it. I don't assume to be an expert on speaking Japanese in any way, shape or form. I like speaking Japanese, but I'm sure I get it mostly wrong most of the time. So yeah, pronunciation is important, obviously. What do we got? That looks like that's the front end of that. Good. And we have, there's a slight bit of green on that. I reckon that's potentially the bottom of that. Yes. And then we've got the back end of that. There's probably a lot of that's and thises going on in the way I'm speaking, but I don't know. If you don't know the names, what else are you to say? This seems like it should be obvious, but I'm not seeing. Is it the Kampachi? Is that it goes there? Yeah, I think so. And we have a dark orangey colour again, which is probably that one. And then a chunk of whitish bits. This looks like it's the front end of one of these, but that one. There we go. Alright, so we get starting to get a bit lower on numbers as far as like colours and things. I say lower on numbers, just getting less and less pieces that got a large amount of colour, so they're going to be a little bit harder to match, I think. Or potentially a bit easier depending on how you look at it, I suppose. I guess there's the chance that it's sort of a bit more obvious with less to go off of, in a way. That doesn't look right, does it? Where does that go? I don't know. I'll come back to that piece. That's a big underneath. There we go. And that's possibly the back end of that too. Yep. Okay. Then we have this one for there. Maybe it's that one. Nope, not that one either. I don't know. Sardine was over here somewhere, wasn't it? Is it that one? Yep. And we have that piece there. There's the more marquee. Is that upside down or is that? Oh no, it's that piece. Yep. That's the top of the green marquee, the kappa marquee. Kappa marquee, maybe? I don't know. Horse mackerel, that was over here, wasn't it? One of these. Where was the horse mackerel? Now I can't remember. Nope, completely lost that one. Or is it upside down? No, I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be on the bottom. I just can't see it right at the minute. I'm guessing it might be here or something. There we go. That's right, it's the one with the interesting middle. That's okay. We have another bit of finish type stuff. So that's that. Alright, we're slowing down a bit here, so I might switch this over to just a quick time lapse depending. So if I stop talking or whatever, then I'll see you on the other side. Yeah, Kohada, that should be easy to spot somewhere. Top left, there we go. Yeah, and then, oh, there's more green, so that's the grass again. Oh, the grass, the shoots, sorry, the onion shoots. This one looks very curious. That looks like it's probably part of this stuff here. There we go. The squid, yep. we have a corner of yellow here, which I'm willing to bet is there below the ebby. And that's where that goes. There we go. We finally managed to figure it out. That's probably going to be the last piece that has a significant amount on it. Now, that's a white with a bit of a tail sticking out. Where does that go? I say a bit of a tail. I mean, it could be the front end as well, but that's not quite the right thing. It's not a tail, it's just a piece. No, not there. There we go. The horse mackerel again. And that's a significant piece. Shapes are starting to be a bit of a help now. There's the top of some marquee. And that's got a significant amount on it. That's there. Yeah, the shapes are helping a little bit just because they're not, what do you call it? They don't all have the regular, the most common shape, if you want to call it that, the 2 out, 2 in kind of puzzle shape. Oh, excuse me, a bit late today I'm recording, unfortunately, but I'll get through this yet. Ikagi. Is that there? Yeah, there we go. Taco is next to that spring onion. We have a bit of white coming down off something. There we go. That's there. We're so close now. I can't wait to get this finished. It's looking really interesting. Smoky goes that way. This is that one. Last few pieces. That goes that way. That is that piece. That piece. And then the final piece, a piece of marquee. And we're done. Well, that was quite enjoyable for a small puzzle. I don't know if it's gonna, yeah, and that's not gonna stay together, so I'm not gonna worry about gluing it today. I might do it again another day, but anyway, hopefully you enjoyed that. And yeah, if you like what you're seeing, please support the channel as always. You know, chuck in a like, a comment, subscribing to the channel if you haven't so far. The sooner we get more subscribers, the sooner I can do a 300 piece 300 subscriber special with 300 piece puzzles. So yeah, anyway, again, thank you very much for watching if you're still with me, and look forward to catching you next time. So enjoy.